This is my review for Echo Season 1, Marvel's first direct show sequel. This season of Echo was different from what Marvel has been releasing so far, and that's a good thing. It tries to find a good middle ground for its storytelling. Spoilers ahead as we talk about Echo Season 1. Now before we get into it, be sure to like this video if you like what I'm doing. It helps out the channel in a big way. And if you want to keep hearing some more of my videos, click that subscribe button so you get notifications. But without further ado, let's get on with the review. Coming under the Marvel Spotlight banner, Echo, a death amputee, is in a different spot than a lot of the other Marvel projects we've seen so far. I consider this Marvel's first direct sequel to a show, given how it takes place after Hawkeye. He does make an appearance as Rardin, which was really cool, but he wasn't the only one to make a reappearance. Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin and Charlie Cox's Daredevil made their debut this year to a stunning performance. Episode 1 has a really interesting fight scene with Echo and Daredevil. The fight choreography was on point. There were points where Daredevil seamlessly gets back up as fast as he falls down, and it's like candy for my eyes. I really liked how the story was summarized for people who may not have watched Hawkeye. It didn't spoil anything for people who may not have watched it, but it did a good job of keeping it interesting for people who already have. Episode 2 keeps things going by introducing us to the supporting cast, which are all really likable. The train sequence was really thrilling, thinking of how dangerous it was. The shots with muted audio to show how she sees the world almost make it somehow seem a little less scary than what it is. The stunts were cool and had me saying I would even try what she is attempting. The reveal of her powers was unexpected. As I mentioned, I came to Echo with a limited understanding of her character, as I thought she was able to perfectly mimic anything that she sees. But I think this is how Marvel's Spotlight banner really shows its potential, because the stakes are closer to Echo and allow us to understand the character more than to be worried about a bigger story that could overshadow her character. Now, episode 3 is where things got really interesting. Echo gets abducted and forced to fight to protect her loved ones. I also must mention the music in this episode was just awesome, and that stays true for the rest of the season. There are points where I pulled up Spotify to add tracks to my like songs. I really enjoyed when the sound was just as good as the scene. Now, the fight scenes in this episode were really, really good. The arcade area was well shot, and the pinball machine scene was just fantastic. I really loved the close-up scenes. After it was finished, there was the phone call, and everyone mysteriously backs away. I gotta say, that really emphasizes just how much control Kingpin has over his people, and I loved it. Then, I do have to mention the Chula scenes. I thought they were really touching and personal. I am saying to myself that I want Maya and Chula to talk. As Maya is heading back to the house, we see that she runs into Fisk, and it gives us a very cool stare-down scene to end the episode 3. Now, episode 4. Yeah, this is by far one of the best openings I've seen out of any Marvel show so far. The ice cream vendor getting absolutely wrecked by Kingpin felt good at first, but even I was like, bro, are you sure you're not going too far? And when he stopped and Maya saw him, I was like, how will this play out? He usually does not like having that side of him seen by other people. The fact that she went up and started kicking the vendor, though, had me chuckling. This is where I realized that maybe Maya and Fisk do share some things together that they can relate. The relationship does a good job of showing how they see each other. The meeting inside the house felt tense. Yet I didn't get the sense that Kingpin even wanted to harm her at all. Maybe I was questioning if Maya was going to try and fight him, but it turned out somewhat peaceful. I also want to mention the tech for the sign language that Kingpin used to understand her was really interesting. It made me ask if there is something like that actually in real life. Finally, later on in the scenes, Chula and Maya have their confrontation. It's powerful, it's heartbreaking. I get Maya's anger at Chula, but I also understand Chula's sadness. It was a great scene altogether. And then towards the end, we see that Maya never shows up to meet Kingpin at the jet, and his anger is just crazy. I don't know how Vincent D'Onofrio does it, but he always matches this energy that Kingpin has. Now, episode 5 might have been the weakest of the bunch. The grandparents getting along was touching. When Kingpin goes and sees Chula, I was actually worried for her. Now, as Maya goes and tries to save her family, this is where I felt the disconnect this episode. Maya was able to get her powers, I guess, from her ancestors, as the story was telling. As I understood, she could copy any move or action she's seen from what's been told to us so far. So this kind of felt like maybe she was a mutant, but it wasn't exactly explained either. So I felt a little bit of a disconnect there. The ancestor parts felt alright. I really liked the explanation for all those. I get in a way that she can borrow the strength from the ancestors, but it just failed to explain it thoroughly to me. That seemed to like explain within this universe how that works, if that makes sense. Her being a descendant of the first human, I guess, but maybe it's like a mutant thing. See, that's where I feel like if I had to guess how that works, it doesn't do a good way of explaining it how it works. If that makes sense. Um, but yeah, like I said, her talking to her mother and getting the healing she needed was symbolic and felt really nice. In turn, she was also able to use that healing on Fisk and heal him of his troubles, which he was surprised and kind of seemed upset about. I didn't know if it was like a surprised upset or like an upset that she took a core thing from him and like took it away. But all in all, Maya lives, Chula lives, Fisk lives, and it seems like peace is made. Then as we wrap up, the end credits reveal a newscast of no one running for mayor, and it seems that Fisk might be the one to do it. My overall summary is this. Marvel does a good job on Spotlight. Echo has her moments to shine, while also building character backgrounds for the supporting cast. The stakes are low enough that no overarching drama outshadowed Echo at any point. Fisk steals every scene that he's in, and my conclusion is maybe Marvel should keep up with Spotlight shows. Allow us to get to know the character motivations before throwing us into a bigger plot. As Marvel's first direct show sequel, I can't help but wonder, is there a formula here for more like it? My overall rating of the show is 8.5, leaning closer to 9 out of 10. The action was good, the drama was touching, but the power explanation left a bitter aftertaste, but it didn't ruin it altogether. Now that's my review for Echo. What were your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked what you saw, smash that like button. And if you want to hear more videos from me, hit that subscribe button so that you can follow up on my content. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.